I would just want to start to saying that I'm a very lucky woman and a mother because I have a son who I raised in prison but was able to write a book about her mom, and he called it The Rebel Mom. The CNN also featured me last 3 years ago. Why I'm saying this? Because my life is an open book. You can read it anywhere. But I'm here to share my story with you guys. I hope that this story can inspire you as well to be a warrior. I was born poor. At 7 years old, I helped to feed my family by selling fish in my town. I do also scavenging work for food. I was a catechist while the Philippines was under martial law, under the dictatorship under Marcos. And the church is not spared to the atrocities of the government. And before I know it, we leaders, even young catechists, priests, nuns, are actually hunted by the dictator. Before I knew it, I was already leading a guerrilla movement in the mountain. I became a mother when I was leading the liberation movement. After 5 years, in always running and hiding, I had to give up my eldest son to a relative just to save him for all, the battles. After 5 years, my husband and I was captured in an 8 hours running gun battle. I am lucky that I'm alive, but 3 of my comrades were murdered in front of me to scare me. While they are nailing to the military, I'm asking for grace, mercy, anything. I'm also nailing to the military to spare the life of this very young man. But he answered me back with his always an officer and gentleman manner, so cold, and told me that, "I'm sorry, madam. This is mercy killing, and we are under martial law." I scream, I kick him, And before I knew it, he dragged me away from the body. Soon, I was in a helicopter with my husband, with other colleagues. While I was in helicopter, I have a clear view of the mountain, and I can see their dead body. I want to jump because of desperation and guilt why I am alive. God, I cannot forget that point of my life, how desperate I am, asking God why I'm alive, to suffer this. And before I knew it, I was already in interrogation room with the military who wants to rape me with my 8 pregnant belly. But during the time, I'm ready to die. I told myself, this is it. Okay? I'm willing to die to defend myself and for my unborn child. And he cannot believe it, that I'm ready to engage in a hand combat with him that moment in time. And I don't know what happened. Maybe God is so good that he just let me go. He said, "You're a crazy woman, you'll be rotting in jail." And yes, I'm rotting in jail. Few days after that, I gave birth to a son in prison. And this is where I start my family with my husband. We are a family of political detainees. After 2 years, I have another daughter in prison. I can still remember that every day I carry my child on my back, climbing a tree in the middle of prison just to show them that there is life beyond those four walls. Every day is a torture to me to see my children in prison. After 4 years in prison, they called me the hard-headed woman of the revolution. They called me crazy. I said, yes, I am. After 4 years, after a peaceful people's power in the Philippines, we're free. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what the meaning of freedom. And this is where I start the organization, the Viasayan Foundation. And I thought that our life in prison is the worst life that maybe anybody can endure. But when I started rescuing girls, hearing their stories, I realized that our life is really nothing compared to what they endured. We have girls that were rescued and have promised to work in Africa, but end up in Ivory Coast and put in a closet-sized room when men, day and night, come to use them. And as of now, suffering for different kind of STDs. We have girls 12 years old, 14 years old, that is forced to get the cotton, dip it in a pigeon's blood, put in their sixth organ just to be marketed as virgins again. And that's worse. Pope Francis called human trafficking as a crime to humanity. Last year, he visited Philippines, and he called for mercy and compassion. For the first time in my life, I asked myself, what is mercy? What is the meaning of mercy to a person like me? And it's hard. And I would say that I'm very difficult to find mercy in my heart. How can I forgive and how can I forget when those military girls, those boys in front of me? Is mercy just easy just to say, to forget 4 years of suffering in prison? Is it easy just to forget? After I hear the story of the girls and hear them cry, it's a human agony. I must admit that mercy doesn't, that forgiveness doesn't come easy to me, nor mercy. But after spending time with the survivors in our shelter, I learned how to forgive. I realized that you never have courage if you don't have mercy. And you cannot move on without forgiving. And that's so big words for me, but I embrace it. I know and I realize that maybe God prepared me really for something bigger. And I cannot afford to define my life and the life of the girls based on the suffering that I have. And slowly, I don't know what happened, but my heart turns into a more gratitude. Gratitude, and thank God every day when I woke up that I was asked to serve this way. Thankful that for 25 years, my organization was able to save 17,000 girls, provide them with new life. Thankful that the church is more open now. Catholic Bishop of the Conference of the Philippines partners with us to start prevention program to reach out to the young people, to the youth, to warn them on how to make them a warrior and how to protect themselves, not to be trafficked. God is really so funny sometimes and so surprising. You can imagine, I'm a rebel through and through in my life. And now, I'm actually appointed by the President of the Philippines as a member of the council that oversees, the program of the government in human trafficking. For me, What a joke, right? What a joke, but it's happened. And now I see that it is very important. While they are doing a lot of progress in the field of human trafficking, unfortunately, the problem continued to escalate. We see new forms of trafficking. The youngest that we have now in our shelter is 1-year-old, sold to cybersex. We have 5 years old who are already lacerated. The evil is coming back with vengeance. And next week, I'm going back to the Philippines. I'm going back to my battleground. I know that they will not stop to destroy my spirit, challenge my organization, do everything to stop us from doing what we are doing. But I'm glad that I'm here because I'm inspired. As a Catholic and as a catechist, this is a dream come true for me, to stand in the heart of Vatican. I know that the doors is opening. And I hope that you'll be with me in this fight. I hope that our commitment will just, not a commitment, but translate into action to reach out to more girls. I hope that the church, schools, religious group will open their doors so that we can educate more young people how to protect themselves and to make sure that the next generation will not be subjective to what we have. I hope that this venue, the opening of the church to a woman like me in the ground, bringing our voice here in the middle of the heart of Vatican will continue, just like what the Voice for Faith is doing. My brothers and sisters, freedom is about choice. Choice to do something. Choice to pick up the fight. Choice to make a difference. And I'm inviting you to be part of it. I'm inviting you to journey with us and to respond to the call of our Pope to free the slaves and bring us, these children, closer to God's plan. Because in every day, what life we rekindle, the life that we reconstruct, the future that we bring, we are bringing ourselves closer to Jesus. Thank you very much.